Having good basic fundamentals in pickleball is going to set you up for a lifetime success in this sport. So today I'm going to teach you some core truths of this game that if you work them into your practice and you learn them early on, you're going to be able to master the game so much faster than if your fundamentals were all out of whack because you weren't practicing them correctly. The first thing you need to do is make sure that you're holding the paddle correctly. If you're holding the paddle with a funny grip, then you're going to have a hard time hitting good shots all the time. So the first thing that we want to make sure when we take a look at our grip is you want your index finger above your thumb. So I'm not necessarily putting it up on the paddle on the back like that. Some people do that, you could do it, but I would recommend having it up above the level of your thumb, but all on the grip here. So see, I'm not on the paddle face, I'm just wrapped around the grip. The common error here is a lot of players will put their thumb above their index finger like this. And sometimes when you learn how to hold the paddle, they say, hold it like you're hammering a nail into the ground. And that's actually how you might hold a hammer, but really what you want to be able to do is keep that index finger above the thumb. You can look at any pro player, doesn't even really matter what the sport is, any racket sport, you look at a tennis player, you look at a squash player, they're always gonna have that index finger up above the thumb. Now the most basic grip, the way to hold the paddle, is the continental grip, and the way that I can find that is by making a check mark with my index finger and my thumb, putting it on the side of the paddle so that the side runs right in that V of my hand, slide down, and then grab at the base. And that's going to bring me to the proper grip, again with that index finger up above the thumb. This is a continental grip. It's the most universal grip and the best grip to start with for beginners because it gives you equal opportunity to hit your forehand and your backhand without changing your grip. However, as you get more advanced, you can slide your grip over. I'm going to move my hand over to the right. I can go into an Eastern grip, which is when the paddle's a little bit more flat and my first knuckle is on top of the big flat bevel here. I can go to a semi-Western grip, or I can go to a Western grip. But the problem is the further right that I go, the harder time I'm going to have hitting a backhand. I can't really hit a backhand out of these grips. I'm going to have to change back to hit my backhand. So I recommend for most players to stay in that continental grip or that Eastern grip. And either way, as long as the index finger is above the thumb, you're going to be good to go. Now that you know how to hold the paddle, we want to make sure that you have the proper position when you're waiting for the ball to come to you. So that's called the ready position. I'm going to have my paddle up and out in front, right in the middle of my body, so that I'm almost pointing the paddle towards my opponent. So when I'm here, it gives me an equal distance to travel to get to my forehand, as it does to get to my backhand. If I have the paddle here like this, well now if the ball comes to my backhand, I have to come all the way over here and I lose time. Time is money in pickleball. You want to be able to hit the ball as early as possible and not lose out on time. And even though it seems like this is a quick motion, when the ball's coming at you fast, you're not going to get there. So you want to make sure that you're right here in the ready position and you're not leaning too far towards one side or the other, because then if the ball comes to that other side that you're not expecting, it's going to take too long to get there, you're going to be late and you're probably going to miss. So to find that good ready position, again, up, out in front, and then I want my elbow to be in front of my body so that if I pull my arm back, I'm going to hit myself. So I don't want to be here, I want to be here. Because again, this is going to allow me to get to both sides equally, especially when the ball's coming fast. If my elbow's in front of my body, I can open up my hand, forehand, close my hand, backhand. But when I'm here, if I want to hit a forehand, look at all the work I have to do. I have to move my whole elbow and shoulder to get there. And that again is going to burn my time. So good ready position is right here, paddle out in front. And the last fundamental truth I'm going to share with you today is to keep your backswing small and compact. So that doesn't mean that you necessarily don't have a backswing. On some shots you do, but for the most part you want to keep the paddle close to the front of your body without taking it too far back behind. And depending on the shot where you're on the court, we're going to take an even smaller or pretty much almost no backswing at all. So if I'm standing at the kitchen, I need to make sure that I'm never bringing the paddle back behind my body. If the ball's coming at me fast for a volley, I have to just react 1-2, 1-2 and punch. If the ball's a dink, I'm going to come from here and out. If I take that backswing, two things happen. One, I lose time, all the time with the paddle coming back here, and two, I might hit it too hard. I don't have that much room from here to the other baseline. It's not that big of a court. So if I take the backswing, naturally I'm going to swing a little bit too fast, a little bit too hard, and send the ball flying out. So see here, everything's out in front. The paddle's not traveling behind my body at all, and that allows me to hit tight volleys. Once I start bringing the paddle back, you can see how that gets a little bit more uncomfortable, and I really don't have any time to react to the ball, and I'm hitting off my back foot. So to hit a better shot, 1, 2, right in front. Same thing for the dink. I'm not pulling anything back behind my body. Once I start doing this, oh, now I'm hitting it past the kitchen, now I'm hitting it too high. So I want to make sure I'm super compact. No matter what kind of shot I'm hitting, everything is out in front. Again, here, I lose control.